And welcome back, everyone. We're a little bit behind. Lineup cards were late, but here we are starting game 2, Bears versus UNC Pembroke. Madison Carricker leading off for the Braves. Here in the top of the first, Bears took game 1 4-0. Morgan Beeler on the mound for Lenoir-Rhyne, and there's a little ground ball through the gap there to right field. And the leadoff runner is on for the Braves, that being Madison Carricker. Pretty much the same lineup for Lenoir-Rhyne as game 1, except Kaylee Travis will be in right field here. And a nice bunt single. So something going on quickly for the Braves here in the top of the first in game 2. So bunt single for Mary Sills. And there's no outs and runners on first and second for UNC Pembroke. As Morgan Beeler steps in. Morgan, much like Lauren Riggs, has pitched well this week. And she'll try to get the Bears. Help get the Bears. Their 6th win in a row, hopefully. They've won 5 in a row after that game 1 win over UNC Pembroke. This is game 6 of an 8-game homestand. Bears will host Lemoyne University on Monday beginning at noon. And there's ball 1. So quick start for UNC Pembroke. And tip there to plate. Allie Linhart catching again here in game 2. Cassidy Wall still in the lineup for Lenoir. She'll be the designated player, I believe. Oh, and they try to steal third, and nice throw by Allie Linhart. Boy, that was I think that was a bit of a mental error there for Pembroke. So now instead of first and second with no outs, and there's a shot to the gap, and it's going to get by Osborne and go to the fence. So UNC Pembroke will get their first run of the day on an RBI double from Tatum Brummett.
Up next for the Braves, number 11, Jordan Adcock.
Jordan Adcock steps in. 1 out here. Just getting started in game 2. And UNC Pembroke with a quick 1-0 lead. And pitch outside for Beeler. Stiff flags again here in game 2, much like game 1. It has been a windy day. The pine trees in the outfield are swaying. Here's a pitch from Beeler. That's outside 2-0. So quick start here for the Braves in game 1. Did not score. In game 2. Did not score in game 1. Quickly have a run here and another runner in scoring position. Start the first in game 2. And that's low, ball 3. So, a bit of a slow start here for Morgan Beeler. And there's strike 1. Bears 7-5 after their game 1 win. UNC Pembroke falls to 6-3. And there's ball 4. So Morgan has not retired a batter yet. The lone out, Kylie Kylie Linhart gunned down Madison Carricker at third on a double steal. And Lauren Hilborn steps in for the Braves. And everybody in the dirt meets as head coach Sheena Holler comes out of the dugout. Slow start, as I mentioned, for Morgan. Beautiful day out. No clouds. If you love the wind, you're in heaven today. Looks like Kylie Linhart's trying to rally the troops out there. She certainly played a lot of softball for LR. And one of our leaders the last few years. So we'll see if the meeting in the circle settles things down a little bit for Lenoir-Rhyne as Morgan Beeler faces Lauren Hilborn. And there's a strike. One to count now. Here's the pitch. And a little ground ball to Rackard. She's going to go to third. Nice job there to get the lead runner. And despite the trouble out there, both outs recorded by Lenoir have been at third base. So they've helped themselves by keeping runners off third. 2 outs now. Let's see if we can get out of this. As McKenna Sibbett steps in. And there's a little chopper's going to go foul. Beeler trying to get out of the inning. She's ahead to count 1 and 2 here. And it's low and in the dirt. Ball 2. 1 run in. Here are Braves on first and second. Morgan Beeler trying to keep them there and give the Bears a chance at the plate. There's a ground ball to Rackard. Oh, she tried to scoop it up and missed it, and everyone's going to be safe. Has been very sure-handed so far this year and just didn't quite get that one. Wonder if Coach Holler is going to ask about runner interference. She looks like she's walking to the other umpire. Legitimate question, I think. Rackard went to scoop the ball, and the runner was going to brush past her. They did make contact. I'm not sure it could have been avoided. Just the path of the ball, Rackard coming forward, and where the base runner was on the path. Looks like that's going to be that. And the bases are now loaded for Emily Biddle. Biddle, Lauren Rakes handled the lineup pretty well in game 1, but Biddle did have 2 hits, including a pretty solid double there in the late innings. So there's a ground ball to second, and Madigan makes a play, and the Bears are out of it. So little dicey start for Lenoir-Rhyne. They do give up a run, but keep it at that, and will head in to take their first time at the plate in the bottom of the first. Braves lead 1-0, and we'll head to the bottom of the first. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bear Sports Network, sponsored by NBA Roofing.
I'm Rob with Center Street Eats. We're located at 2250 North Center Street in Viewmont. We offer fast dine-in and carry-out service. Usually your prepared meals at lunch from 11 to 3 are ready within 5 minutes. Center Street Eats also offers prepared meals and snacks, protein bars, smoothies, and so much more. We can accommodate most allergy restrictions and can adjust our weekly menu to comply with the most current trending diets like keto and paleo. Street Eats has helped fuel the sports programs at Lenoir-Rhyne for over 10 years now. We work with every program on campus, and we look forward to working with them again.
And the Bears come to the plate, down 1-0 here as we go to the bottom of the first. Savannah Moorfield will lead off. 1 for 4 in game 1 today. Came into the day leading the Bears at hitting, batting .462. Took a little bit of a hit after game 1. See how she starts this game. Lauren Gammons in the circle for UNC Pembroke. And Moorfield fouls one off. Count goes to 1-1. The wind has not subsided much today, and it's going right now. And here's the pitch. The camera almost fell over a couple of times. You may be able to tell that. Partner Malik Ellis is trying to keep the screen from blowing over too. And the count's now 2-2 to Savannah Moorfield. Good all-around ball player in center field, and that one slapped foul. Caught a fan. And they toss back in. Coach Holler makes a play there. Stuffs the ball in her pocket. And the count remains 2-2. And swing and a miss, and a rare strikeout for Savannah Moorfield, as Caitlin Rackard will come to the plate. You hear papers rattling in the background. It is a battle right now with the wind. There's strike one to Caitlin Rackard. Rackard hitless in game 1, did score a run. Looking for her first hit of the day, and there's a ground ball to second, fielded cleanly, and there's out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Lauren Gammons in the circle for the Braves. And Kylie Linhart will step to the plate. Kylie 0 for 2. Did draw a walk in game 1. And there's strike number one. This entire week, Wednesday, yesterday, and in game one today, she has been close to leaving the park and has just gotten under it. She's going to get a hold of one. And they say she went. Doesn't look like Kylie thinks so. Umpire asked for help, which is what he should do, and base umpire gave him the strike sign, and Kylie's in the hole 1 and 2 with 2 outs. And that one's in the dirt, 2 and 2. And that one low as well. Count runs full, 2 outs for Kylie Lenoir-Rhyne as she steps in to face Lauren Gammons. And inside, that's ball 4. So Lenoir-Rhyne draws a 2-out walk, and that will bring Cassidy Wall to the plate.
Next for the Bears, number 9, Cassidy Wall.
She was 1 for 3 first game, drove in a run, scored a run. RBI double in the third. It was a 3-run inning for the Bears. Gave them that 4-run cushion that stood the rest of the way. And ball 1 to Cassidy. Took the team RBI lead with that game 1 RBI. She has 11 now. Kylie Lenoir-Rhyne has 10 to lead the Bears. And there's ball low. So after 2 quick outs, a little bit of a control battle here for Gammons. As she faces Wall, she's already walked Kylie Lenoir-Rhyne. And that's ball 3. We'll trot in from the shortstop for some encouragement, and the catcher now will run out to Jordan Adcox. Make sure she and Gammons are on the same page, maybe. Just getting going here. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Bears took game 1 over the Braves. Braves lead this one 1-0. But Lenoir-Rhyne has a runner on here with 2 outs. And there's a strike. And that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks, 2-out walks. Have the Bears now with a runner in scoring position, being Kylie Lenoir-Rhyne. And Hannah Jennings steps to the plate. Hits in game 1, so Hannah looking for her first hit of the day and a chance at an RBI too. Pitch low from Gammons. Gammons, their other regular starter for the Braves. She's pitched 15 innings coming into this one, and I'm sure more didn't. Stats don't carry the 2 Catawba games, both of which UNC Pembroke won on Thursday. And that's ball high. Count goes to 2-1. Bears trail 1-0, but it's early. And we've got runners on first and second. Julie Madigan on deck. If Jennings can keep this going. And ball 4. So after a quick 2 outs, Lauren Gammons has walked the bases loaded. And the Bears still a chance now. Julia Madigan stepping in. Freshman second baseman. 2 for 3 in game 1. Scored a run, had an RBI. Single and a double. See if she can push one across here. Tie this ball game. Little breaking pitch is a strike. And there's strike 2. So after 3 straight walks, Gammons quickly works ahead on Madigan. And here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. A nice, funny little hop there, and not able to make the play. And Lenoir-Rhyne will tie the game. See how the score counts that. I would say it's an E6. And it looks like they agree. So unearned run there in Gammon's column, but the Bears tied up nonetheless. And there's a ball to Laura Beth Wood. Hit by a pitch in game 1. And she'd like to hit the ball without it hitting her here in game 2. And fouls one back. Bears still with bases loaded. 2 outs. Three straight walks and a E6 have the Bears on the board. Looking for more here in the bottom of the first. And there's strike 2 to Wood. Hit along a home run Wednesday to right center, so she's certainly capable of getting a few runs on the board quick. Hard swing, but just that's going to be trouble. That's going to be another run for the Bears. Well, it's a line drive in the box score, isn't that what they say? Ball went about 12 feet. Lauren Woods has an infield single and an RBI to give the Bears a 2-1 lead. So the Braves jumped out quick in the top of the first, but the Bears have come right back thanks to some few walks and an error and a 12-foot single by Laura Beth Woods. And Kaylee Travis steps in, playing right field here in game 2. Did not start game 1. And has a chance to break this game open early. And swing and a miss, strike 2. Bears lead here, 2-1. We're still in the bottom of the first. And outside. And here's a pitch. Nice shot to the left, right center. Is it going to fall? No. Take the lead with a couple of runs here in the bottom of the first. So leading 2-1, we'll go to the top of the second. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by NBA Roofing.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
And welcome back, everyone. Emily Rose at the plate, third baseman for UNC Pembroke. And she takes strike one as Morgan Beeler now with a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch, a little breaking pitch off the plate. Count goes to 3-1. Morgan got off to a rough start. A couple of singles. Double, scored a run, walk, and was able to end the inning. There's strike two. So count goes full here to Rose, who's leading off the top of the second. Looks in the dugout, checks out the wristband, and there's a pitch, and that's low ball four. So leadoff hitters on here in the top of the second for UNC Pembroke as Mary Jo Wilkes will step in. Emily Rose at first base in short sleeves. Mary Jo Wilkes steps in with a hoodie. Laura Beth Wood has put one on too. Shows bunt. Everybody rushes and ball one. And there's a strike. Foul back. Oh, might have a chance. Not quite. That was the closest one we've had here in the booth/platform. Thanks to Jeremy Zalaka getting me up here this year. And there's strike three. One away. So Beeler comes back and gets the strikeout. And we'll go back to the top of the order. Madison Carricker. She singled to lead off the game. Got caught in a double steal at third. Nice throw by Kylie Linhart there to record the first out back in the first inning. Carricker, a little slap hit to shortstop. See if Rackard can make the throw, and she does. Nice backhanded grab. Almost hated to give her an error back in the first. Sort of a collision there with the base runner, and Coach Holler went out and asked about it. Maybe runner interference, but play stood, and nice play there, though, to get out two. Mary Sills steps in. She singled in the first also, scored the only run of the game. Bunt single. Moved Carricker to second. Right now Emily Rose is at second with two away. And count 1-1 to the Braves shortstop. Here's a pitch from Beeler. And wow. That was right there at the dugout. Ball got in there. Couldn't tell if it hit somebody or not. Somebody was jumping around. There's screens in front of the dugout, but not on the sides. And players obviously have to come in and out to get to the plate. Here's a nice stop by Laura Beth Wood. She's going to tag the runner and get out three. So a little excitement there at first base, but it's an out. And after the leadoff walk to Emily Rose, Morgan Beeler settles down and retires the next three. So we'll head to the bottom of the second, game 2 of our doubleheader, as Lenoir-Rhyne leads 2-1. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bear Sports Network. And you probably heard the public address announcer there introducing Kendall Osborne. She'll lead off the bottom of the second for the Bears. Osborne, of course, the holes down left field very well. Reached on air and walked back in game 1, so she's also looking for her first hit of the day. And takes strike 1 from Lauren Gammons. Gammons had some control issues in the first inning as well, much like Morgan Beeler. Beeler settled down in the second. See how Gammons does. That's a shot to the gap. I don't know if anybody's going to get there, and that's out of here. Oh, my goodness. Home run for Kendall Osborne. Couldn't quite tell, and the wind's been so bad today and has held some balls up, but Kendall Osborne takes one deep to right center. And the Bears lead now 3-1. Boy, a lot of excitement there coming out of that LR dugout, and rightfully so. That was a shot by Kendall Osborne, her first home run of the year, first RBI. So, there you go, Kendall Osborne. She hit that hard. So that sends us back to the top of the lineup. Bears now lead 3-1. And Savannah Moorfield steps in. Rare strikeout for Savannah to lead off the bottom of the first for Lenoir-Rhyne. Rarely doesn't make contact. An on-base percentage of over 500. There's a little pop-up. I think the third baseman's going to be able to make that play. And Savannah, 0-2, here to start game 2. Caitlin Rackard will step. Backhand grab, throw out at first. Let's see how she does here at the plate. And shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and it's ball 1. And there's a nice solid single to right. Right fielder plays it on one hop. And Caitlin Rackard has her first hit of the day. Solid single to right. And the Bears now with a base runner, 1 out. They've already pushed 1 run across. Long home run to right center by Kendall Osborne. Really excited, the whole team. Kendall was very excited, you could tell, as Kylie Linhart steps in and fouls one back. Like to see Kylie get into one. She's been close. for a few games now. And has a chance here. Walked in the first. Got the Bears' first run. Bears now leading 3-1 with one out here in the bottom of the second. Bears win the first game 4-0. Another shutout for Lauren Rakes. 11 strikeouts. 12. So if I'm remembering right, she had a 7-inning shutout Wednesday with 12 strikeouts. Got another one here today. Morgan Beeler on the mound here in game 2. Here's a pitch from Lauren Gammons, and that's foul ball out just beyond the Bears bullpen. Count 1-2 now to the Bears catcher, and third on the all-time home run list. Took a little off. Adcox thought about going to first, but didn't. And see Pembroke coach is coming out. There's a ball on the field. I don't know if someone threw one in to the umpire and he didn't catch it, or can't tell. We're blocked here by the dugout, but that might have been why Brittany Bennett stepped out to check. And foul back again. 2-2 the count. Kylie Linhart battling here. Caitlin Rackard stands on first. Bears have pushed one across this inning. Back and is safe. Looks like Adcox had wanted to do that earlier, and maybe not on the same page with the first baseman. Here's a pitch from Gammons, and high and inside. Kylie fought that one off, and count remains full. Still early, but quite a few runs. 3-1. We're just in the bottom of the second. And there's another one. Just got under it. A lot of center. And, well, it wasn't as deep as I thought. Almost, center fielder almost made a play in the dirt. So 2 away. And Cassidy Wall will step in.
Up next for LR, number 9, Cassidy Wall.
She walked and scored in the first. And is currently the Bears' RBI leader with 11. And see if she can keep things going with 2 outs here. Right center. Looks like the right fielder is going to be able to make. Oh boy, what a nice catch that was. I think that was shorter than she thought, and she made a diving catch. That was a great play in right field for UNC Pembroke. That's Emily Biddle. So she's had a good day today. A couple of hits in game 1, and great play there and right to end the inning for the Bears. So Wall flies out to right field. Bears strand a runner, but score 1 on the solo home run by Kendall Osborne, and we'll take a 3-1 lead into the top of the third. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Tatum, excuse me, didn't have my mic down. Tatum Brummett will lead off the top of the third for UNC Pembroke. Had a double in
Up next, number 11.
and trots to first. Looks like she wants to walk that off. Kind of smiling. UNC Pembroke coach is heading out to first base. See how she's doing. So Brummett on. Hit batter. And for the third straight inning, Braves have a leadoff runner on, with Jordan Adcox stepping in. She walked into first. I was talking about Tatum Brummett, and she got plunked. Had a double and RBI in the first, was thrown out at third. In the first. And here's Adcox. She walked in the first as well. So both pitchers struggled a bit in the first, got settled down in the second. Solo home run given up by Gammons, but other than that, she got out of the inning pretty well, and we'll see how the third goes here for Morgan Beeler. Beeler, a junior out of Ocean Isle Beach on the North Carolina coast. Here's the pitch. And high ball too. Bears lead 3-1. One game won. Trying to get their third doubleheader sweep of the week, but a long way to go, and that's a hard hit ball to right. Kaylee Travis is on her horse, and it looks like a stand-up double for Adcox. And the Braves are in business with runners at second and third, no outs. So, as I said, there's a long way to go.
Up next, number 6, Lauren Hilborn.
Lauren Hilborn hit into a fielder's choice in the first and has a chance to push a couple of runs across here for the Braves. Looks down at head coach Brittany Bennett and now stands in. Morgan took a little bit off that on strike one. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for UNC Pembroke. 3 runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Bears. But Pembroke threatens here in the top of the third. And that one's outside. And foul ball. Tried to bunt, runner was coming. That would have been a little bit of excitement there. Instead, it's a foul. And Hilborn walks back to the batter's box. Counts 1 and 2. Coach Holler out asking a question about that ball at the plate. So as we have a little bit of a break, Bears off tomorrow. We'll host Lemoyne University from Syracuse, New York. On Monday, first pitch there is at noon. This time of year, a lot of teams from up north head south to just get some games in. Weather's bad and that sort of thing. Baseball teams playing Shippensburg State out of Pennsylvania today. Bears played Southern New Hampshire University last night in softball. High fly to Wood, and she's going to make the play, and no one can advance. Nice job there. Laura Beth pretty alert. Realized the runners were on second and third. So quickly turned to keep them there. So one away now with McKenna Sibbett coming to the plate. She reached on an error in the first. And takes ball one here. Tatum Brummett on third. Jordan Adcox on second for the Braves. Morgan Beeler trying to get out of a little bit of a jam. There's one out here in the top of the third. It's got a piece of it. Nice cut. Count goes 1-1 on the Braves' second baseman. Here's a pitch from Morgan. And Rhyne outside, 2-1. But the pitchers here in game two struggled a little bit with their control. Morgan already has a couple of walks and a hit batter. And here's the pitch. There's strike. Nice movement on that pitch. A little encouragement from Laura Beth Wood. As Morgan tries to keep these runners in place and get out too. And there's a shot. Nice play by Hannah Jennings. Boy, she's a good third baseman. I'll tell you what. Left her feet. That was easily going to be a run, maybe two. Instead, it's an out. And LR's 1 out away from getting out of this jam. Emily Biddle stands in. 2 hits in game one, so got to be careful with her. One was a pretty hard hit double there late in the game. And there's ball one. Biddle ended the bottom of the second for Lenoir-Rhyne with a great diving catch in right field to keep her off the bases here. And it's outside ball two. Morgan pitched a couple innings yesterday. 1 hit, walked a couple of Ks. Finished up game one as Lauren Rakes and Morgan kind of split that game. Brooklyn Heavener, freshman from Shelby, started game two yesterday. Pitched well, victimized by a couple of Lenoir-Rhyne errors. Lauren Rakes came in relief in that game. Lauren with the distance today. And Morgan Beeler trying to get out of a little jam here in the top of the third. Biddle has trotted to first.
Next for the Braves, number 22, Emily Rose.
Emily Rose, third baseman, steps in. She walked back in the second to lead off the second. And Morgan got the next 3 outs. So she steps in with no place for Morgan to put her, but there are 2 outs. It's a big batter for Morgan Beeler. If she can get this one, bears her 3-1 lead heading into the bottom of the third. Hit, though, could tie the game. Lenoir back behind the plate after she and Morgan have a little chat. And Rose steps back in. Morgan long look in the dugout, and Rose is going to step out. Here's a pitch from Morgan. And there's a strike. Morgan can move the ball around. Didn't throw as hard as Lauren. But when she's got good control, she can put the ball in lots of different places. That one's in the dirt a little bit, ball 2. 2-1 now. Bases loaded for the Braves. They're trying to get back in this thing. Trail 3-1. Morgan Beeler trying to stem the tide here. And there's a ground ball to Jennings. They're going to tag. No, she's safe. Well, Hannah's shaking her head, but I had a pretty good view of that from up here, and I'm not sure she touched her. Nice try. I mean, good idea there. Instead of trying to go to first, it's a pretty slow grounder. But umpire might have gotten that one right. So as it stands now, and I don't imagine it will change, Tatum Brummett crosses the plate for the Braves for their second run of the game. Everyone advances as Rose reaches on the fielder's choice. And the bases remain loaded with Mary Jo Wilkes coming to the plate. MJ, as the PA announcer called her. As a matter of fact, Coach Bennett told me when I was checking some names before the game, said, you can just call her MJ. So we might do that moving forward. There's a pitch from Beeler, and there's a strike. So UNC Pembroke gets one across. Leadoff walk comes back to haunt Morgan a little bit. Trying to get out of it here. Pull the string there and got a strike. So count now 1-2. 2 outs. Base is still loaded. So we can hold on here. Not too much damage done. Still have a lead. And there's a ball in the dirt. Now the UNC Pembroke coach is heading out to second. Emily Biddle's rolling her ankle around. I don't know if when she went to second on that play, if she stepped on the base funny or not. But indicates she's okay. I'm not sure she asked Coach Bennett to come out there. I think she was just moving her ankle around, and Braves coach thought maybe I should check and see what's going on there. Biddle seems fine. Coach Bennett seems like she agrees, and here's a pitch that's outside. Count goes full. So there's nowhere for MJ Wilkes to go. So this is a big pitch from Morgan Beeler. And it's a little ground ball to Rackard, who scoops it up, makes a throw to first. Nice grab by Laura Beth Wood, and the Bears are out of it, but not before UNC Pembroke gets a run back and gets a little closer as we move to the bottom of the third. Bears lead 3-2. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Hannah Jennings steps in to lead off for the Bears here in the bottom of the third. She walked in the first inning. A little bit of controversy there on the play at third. In the top half of this inning, looks like, well, she lines the ball down left field line, and it's going to be fair, so that's going to be too easy for Jennings, and she's going to stop at second. So leadoff double for Lenoir-Rhyne here as they try to get a run back and widen this lead, 3-2 lead. So I was saying Jennings opted to try to tag a runner on a ground ball. Tagged the runner at third. Fire said she missed the tag. From where I was sitting, it looked like she did. Coach Holler asked about it. Didn't go, and that was that. And now it stands on second. Good bunt there by Mari Owens. She threw it away. So pitcher throws the ball in the right field, and Hannah Jennings is going to score. Morgan stays where she is. So nice sacrifice for Mardigan. And Jennings is going to score on the air. And the Bears take a 2-run lead back with Laura Beth Wood standing in. Single RBI in the first. And bunts here, and it looks pretty good. Are they going to be able to get her at first? Yes. And Mardigan's going to try for third. And she's safe. Looked like she beat it. I don't think the Braves are going to agree there, but it was a nice hustle by Julia Mardigan. It was a little bit of a gamble. Coach Holler might be saying, nice job, don't do it again. But yeah, it's early in the game. Take a chance, and now all of a sudden there's a runner on third. It was close play. I think she got in. Laura Beth almost beat it out at first. So another sacrifice there. And Mardigan stands at third with one out. As the Bears threaten again. Kaylee Travis flied out to center in her first at bat. Playing right field here in game 2. And replacing Cassidy Wall. Wall still in the lineup as a designated player. And a 2-0 count now to Kaylee Travis. Lauren Gammons on the mound for the Braves. She trails 4-2. And the Bears have a good chance to get another one here with one out. As Julia Mardigan stands on third, there's a strike. And the count goes to 2-1. Bears won game 1, lead here, and a chance to get another one on the board. That one's inside, goes to play. Mardigan didn't even hesitate. She came in and she's out at the plate. I think that was probably the right call too. Pretty aggressive base running by Mardigan. It worked the first time, didn't work then. She didn't hesitate. Ball got by the catcher, Adcox, and she took off. Mardigan did. And it was close play, but looked like she was out. And the umpire thought so too. So now 2 away. And nobody on. As Travis steps back in. 3-1's count. And there's ball 4. So some pretty aggressive base running by Julia Mardigan. Doesn't quite get there in time at home. And Kendall Osborne steps in. Solo home run to right center in her first at bat. Got the Bears pretty excited. None more so than Kendall Osborne. And she came around third. She was happy. And there's Strike one. So 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Kaylee Travis on first and Kendall Osborne at the plate. And there's strike 2. One and 2 now the count. 2 outs. And there's ball 2. Doesn't seem quite as windy here in game 2. Boy, whew, it was blown in game 1. And did she go? Yes, she did. She knew she did. She almost went straight to the dugout. So, strikeout there to end the inning for the Bears. But they get the run back that they gave up in the top half and lead now 4-2 as we go into the top of the 4th. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And welcome back. Morgan Beeler facing Madison Carricker there. Leadoff hitter. And there's ball 2. Carricker got a single in the first, but was caught stealing part of a double steal. And hits the ball foul here. Grounded out to Caitlin Rackard in the second. So her third at bat of the day, of the game 2. Played left field in game 1 as well. Here's the pitch from Beeler. And did she go? They say she did. And there's out number 1. So good start for Beeler. First inning that she's gotten the leadoff batter out. And Mary Sill steps in. Bunt single and scored in the first. Grounded out to Laura Beth Wood in the second, and strike 1 there. Be nice if Morgan could kind of settle down and get through this inning fairly easily. Had a rough first. Lead off walk in the second, but settled down there, got the next 3, and then last inning, a couple of walks, and gave up a run. But the Bears lead 4-2 here against the Braves. And there's strike 2. So with 1 out, Mary Sills stand in with a 1-2 count. Morgan Beal will try to put her away. Game 1, Bears won 4-0, was also the ground ball to Wood. Is Martin going to be able to make the play? Yes, she is. Boy, I tell you what. Ball went off Laura Beth Wood's glove. Julia Morgan was able to scoop it up and still make the play. So, and there was an example, as I mentioned earlier today, of Laura Beth Wood. She can stretch out there and go get that ball. So nice job there. I guess maybe technically that's a 3-4-3. I don't know. I'm a scorebook guy. Tatum Brummett steps in, takes ball 1. Had RBI double in the first. Was the Braves' first run, and then scored the Braves' second run. Was hit by a pitch and came around to score later in the inning on a fielder's choice by Emily Rose. And she's ahead in the count here, 2-0. 2 away. We're on the top of the 4th. Bears trying to sweep a doubleheader here today. But there's a ways to go, and did Burma get hit again? Looks like she might have gotten hit on the foot. I can't. Umpires blocking me a little bit here. That's not his fault, but had to be hit by pitch. So Burma gets hit for the second time today and is on first with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Excuse me there. Jordan Adcox stands in. Walked in the first. Doubled in the third. And has a runner on with 2 outs here. Here's a strike from Morgan. Be nice if Morgan could get this out. And foul back. Counts quickly 0-2. Bears been hitting the ball pretty well. Morgan can get one here. You know, we're looking at the top of the order here in the bottom of the 4th, so be a good chance maybe for the Bears to put another one across, but of course can't let the Braves have one here in the top half, and the count goes to 1-2. Jordan Adcox at the plate. Tatum Brummett on first, and there's a strikeout for Morgan Beeler. So, nice job. Good inning from Morgan Beeler. A couple of strikeouts. Did hit the batter, but left the runner stranded. And the Bears will take a 4-2 lead into the bottom of the 4th. So, we'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Bears heading to the plate in the bottom of the fourth with a 4-2 lead.
Bottom half of the fourth inning for the Bears. Number 11, Savannah Moorfield.
There's one thing maybe a little concern. Bears have had 10 base runners here in this game, only have 4 runs. Left the bases loaded in the first. So, see if we can tighten up here. Savannah Moorfield 0 for 2 so far and takes a strike. 1 for 4 in game 1. 0 for 2 here in game 2, so she's certainly due against Lauren Gammons. Swinging miss there, so Moorfield quickly in the hole, 0-2. And third strike looking, wow. Not unusual day, or an unusual game too, I guess, for Savannah Moorfield. That's her second strikeout. Don't see that often. She makes contact. But Lauren Gammons is kept her in check here in game 2. Caitlin Rackard steps in. Single back in the second, grounded out in the first, so she's 1 for 2. As the sun's starting to go down a little bit and starting to see some shadows on the field, and there's a swing and a miss, strike 2. So Lauren Gammons, for all the base runners she's had, and Bears have scored in each inning, she's coming out quick here in the fourth. And gets her second straight strikeout. So that's out number 2.
Up next for the Bears, number 3, Kylie Linhart.
Fourth strikeout for Gammons, and Kylie Linhart will step in. Kylie walked and scored a Bears first run back in the first, flew out to center in the second. Third leading home run hitter in LR softball history with 42. And there's the ball. Count goes to 2-0. Couple behind Jody Mizell, shortstop left fielder for the Bears a few years back. And that looks like it's going to be trouble. It's just going to get over the shortstop's head, and so a little bloop single for Kylie Linhart. And the Bears have a 2-out base runner. Cassidy Wall steps in, back to Kylie Linhart, third all-time. Sarah Atkins Cook, the all-time leader with 46. Wall steps in, she walked and scored in the first. Flew out to right. This is a little pop-up, is not going to be able to get there this time, is Biddle, and Linhart never really stopped running and got to third. Grams her hamstring, it looks like. As Coach Holler steps over to talk to Kylie. She's going to stay at third. Good base running. Hope she didn't tweak anything there. So 2 quick strikeouts for Gammons. Now a couple of hits for Lenoir-Rhyne, and runners on first and third. And Hannah Jennings at the plate. Jennings doubled to lead off the third, ended up scoring. And there's a strike. Count goes to 1-1. I can see the lights here in a few. I don't know if we'll get through this one before it gets dark. There's a shot in the gap. I don't think anybody's going to be, oh, well, I was wrong. It might have been a wind ball there. But fly out to left field. And that ends the inning for the Bears. So the Bears threaten with 2 runners there in the bottom half. Leave them both stranded, and we'll go to the top of the 5th with a 4-2 lead. We'll be back in a few. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
Love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Lauren Hilborn steps in for UNC Pembroke to face Morgan Beeler. Bears with a 4-2 lead here as we start at the top of the fifth. So getting in the later stages here. Sun's dropping a little bit, starting to see some shadows on the field. And, of course, with the sun going down, it's cooling down a little bit. Here's a pitch from Beeler, swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. See what kind of inning Morgan has. She kind of had a couple of rough spots in the first, got through the second pretty well. A couple more rough spots in the third, got through the fourth pretty well. So, see if we can break that pattern and get through the top of the fifth without any problems. 1-2 the count. Here's a pitch from Morgan. And looked good, but a little off the plate, I guess. Count goes to 2-2. Hilborn reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Foul fly ball out to Laura Beth Wood in the third. Nice play by Wood. Pretty aware of the base runner situation. Caught the ball and kept everybody in place. Probably helped save us a run. UNC Pembroke only getting one in that inning. Count goes full now to Hilborn. And don't want the leadoff runner on here in the top of the fifth. And there's a fly ball foul to the left, just over the visiting bullpen, the visitors' bullpen. The bullpen's not visiting us. It's where the visitors pitch. Count remains 3-2 and another foul ball. So, Hilborn battling here, as is Morgan Beeler. Trying to keep the leadoff runner off base here in the top of the fifth. And shot to Hannah Jennings, easy catch, and there's one away. So that brings McKenna Sibbett to the plate. She reached on an error back in the first. Little pop fly to Hannah Jennings in the third. And Morgan Beeler set. And that's ball one. Like Morgan wanted that one. Like Kylie Linhart wanted it too. And there's a little one hopper or a dribbler to second. Easy play for Julia Mardigan, and quickly 2 outs for Morgan Beeler and the Bears. As Emily Biddle stands in. Made a couple of really good plays in right field, a couple she hadn't been able to get to. But she's been on the ground a few times. Walked in the second and got stranded on second base. Excuse me, walk was in the third. Got stranded on second. Takes ball one here. See if Morgan can get a 1-2-3 here and get the Bears back to the plate. There's strike one. 2 away here on the top of the fifth. Bears hold a 4-2 lead. They won game one 4-0. So trying to get their third doubleheader sweep of the week. Man, there's a swing and a miss. Strike two. So Morgan 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. Would be her first here in game two. And it'd be a nice spot to get one. And here's the pitch. And that looks like that's going to be trouble, and it's going to drop fair. Osborne picks it up and quickly gets the ball to second. Goes past. Nice job, heads up by Kaylee Travis to back that up and keep Emily Biddle at first.
Up next for Pembroke, number 22, Emily Rose.
So a bit of excitement there on the throw, but nice job by Kaylee Travis to be aware and hold the runner at first as Emily Rose steps to the plate. She's walked and got an RBI on a fielder's choice in the third. And has a chance here to extend the top of the fifth for the Braves. 4-2's our score. And Rose call a timeout. Here's a pitch from Morgan. And there's a strike. It's taken some work for Morgan today, but only 2 runs so far. She's been able to work her way out of trouble for the most part. And there's ball 3, though. And the count goes 3-1. Got the first 2 quickly. Single by Biddle. Now 3-1 count on Emily Rose. Here's a pitch from Morgan. And a little ground ball right to Morgan. She's going to make the throw to Laura Beth a little bit off balance, but it was an out nonetheless. And that ends the top of the fifth for the Braves. We will head to the bottom half of the fifth inning with the Bears leading 4-2. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing. Julia Mardigan steps in to lead off the bottom of the fifth for Lenoir-Rhyne. Bears with a 4-2 lead. Starting to get in the later part of the game here. And there's ball one. Julie reached on an error in the first. Reached on a sacrifice in the third. Throwing error got her on base, and shortstop makes a play there for out number one.
Up next, number 24, Laura Beth Wood.
Bears off tomorrow. Host Lemoyne in a doubleheader on Monday. First pitch there is 12 noon. I have class. I'll try to get here as soon as possible. A little high and inside. Noon start on a Monday's kind of unusual. I would guess it has to do with Lemoyne travel plans. And there's a Grander's going to get past the second baseman. Is Wood going to be able to get first? Yes, she is. So she's had two of the stranger singles today. Is that one just kind of out of reach of the second baseman there.
Up next for the Bears, number 7.
She had and I'm kind of joking, a 12-foot RBI single earlier. And we're going to get a pinch runner. Let's see if we can tell what number it is. Number 2. Cameron Bryant will pinch run for Laura Beth Wood. We have white numbers on white uniforms with a thin red outline. It's still a little difficult to make out the numbers sometimes. Kaylee Travis at the plate. Nice heads-up play in the top half to keep a runner from advancing. And there's strike one. Kaylee, senior out of Bunker Hill High School, right up the road. Good friend Damon Creamer, AD there for a long time. And here's the pitch. And bunted just foul. Count goes to 0-2. And here's the pitch from Lauren Gammons. And that's a ball. So 1-2 the count. As a pair of Bunker Hill alums are in play here. Kaylee Travis and Cameron Bryant. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Try to throw back and get Bryant off first. She's able to get back to the bag. But 2 outs now.
Up next for the Bears, number 5,
As Kendall Osborne steps in. Big home run in the second. Really got the Bears excited. Struck out in the third. Let's see what she can do here. Played a good left field today, as usual. And ball one. Cameron Bryant, pinch runner for Laura Beth Wood, is at first, and they're going to go back to first. And Bryant scoots back again. Left side of the infield's kind of shielding their eyes. Sun's getting down a bit. I'm sure it's in their face. Right field, too. And the lights clip on here at Bears Field. 1-2 the count now to Kendall Osborne. Bears with a runner on first. And pitch is high. Bryant thought about it. Ball popped out of Adcox's glove, but not far enough for Cameron Bryant to take a gamble there. So she'll remain at first. And the count's 2-2 now. Kendall Osborne. And she hits the roller to third. And they're going to say it's a foul ball. Did she foul it off her foot? She's hopping around and walking like maybe she did. She's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, I think she got stung there. but she steps back in. Count remains 2-2. And here's the pitch from Gammons. And foul to the right. Kendall still stretching out and walking around a little bit. Kind of put her left foot behind her. That must have been where she got hit. 2-2 the count. And foul again. Crawls up the fence near the UNC Pembroke dugout. And we're still at 2-2. Bears lead 4-2. 2 outs here. Bottom of the 5th. As Lenoir-Rhyne is trying to keep this inning going. Ball goes to the backstop, and Bryant's finally going to get to second. She looked like she was antsy to run there a couple of times and got a chance to do so there. So Bryant gets into scoring position. And Kendall Osborne with a chance to get an RBI here. She's still looks like she's uncomfortable a little bit. It's cold out, so imagine it makes it hurt a little bit worse. And she steps in, counts 3-2, 2 outs. Cameron Bryant on second for the Bears, and that looks like it's going to fall. That's trouble, and Bryant never hesitated. She's coming home and is going to be safe easily, and that's going to get Kendall Osborne to second. So RBI single for Kendall Osborne, and the Bears now lead 5-2. Boy, Bryant had her head down, and she never hesitated coming to the plate and was safe easily. So Bears get that extra run now, take a 3-run lead at 5-2, and Savannah Moorfield steps in. Imagine she'd like to get a hit here. She's had a little bit of a difficult time here in game 2 and swings and misses there. A couple strikeouts for Savannah, kind of unusual. Lined out to the third baseman. Back in the second. So Bears with a runner on. RBI single from Kendall Osborne has moved the score to 5-2. Kendall's at second, and Savannah now in the hole 0-2. Here's a pitch from Gammons, and that one's fouled off to the left. And she'll dig back in to face Lauren Gammons. And that's high, ball 1. Bears trying to sweep this doubleheader. A little bit of an insurance there on the RBI single. A nice grab by the first baseman. The shortstop, but she's got no place to go. Osborne was already past her, running, and no way after she left her feet, there was no way she was going to get Moorfield at first. So that's a little infield single for Savannah Moorfield. The Bears now have runners at first and third with 2 outs, and Caitlin Rackard coming to the plate. Caitlin's got a hit today. Back in the second. See if she can get a run across here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And there's a shot to left center, and it's going to get to the fence. Rackard's going to get to second easy, and Moorfield is going to be at home. And did she beat the throw? Yes, she did. So triple by Caitlin Rackard. Savannah Moorfield, with her speed, got in easily. So another couple of runs and a big hit here in the bottom of the 5th for Caitlin Rackard. Bears now lead 7-2. 7-2. And have put themselves in pretty good position here late to get another win. Not over yet, of course, but 5-run lead here in the bottom of the fifth. It's a pretty good cushion. Kylie Linhart at the plate. Yeah, she takes the ball. One and one to count. Scoreboard's a little behind. And fouls this one about. Count goes to 1-2. Bears broken this one open. 3 runs in the bottom of the fifth. Kylie Linhart stands in, tries to get her second hit of this in this game. Ball high. Gammons kind of took something off there. And it counts 2-2. And swing and a miss for Linhart for out number 3. But Bears break it open with 3 runs here in this inning and will take a 7-2 lead into the top of the 6th. So with the Bears on top, we will take a quick break. Be right back. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network. So new batter for the Braves as Madison Dyson will bat for MJ Wilkes, here to lead off the 6th. Braves trail 7-2, and it's getting late. Morgan Beeler trying to keep loose out in the circle as the umpire goes and chats with UNC Pembroke head coach. Cleans the plate. Yeah, so we're about ready to get started. And here's a pitch from Beeler. And strike 1. Dyson thought that was a little bit off the plate, but a strike nonetheless. Beeler's been in trouble some, but battled and has a 7-2 lead right now. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for UNC Pembroke. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Bears. Here's a pitch, a little bit low. 2-1's the count. Bears have extended some innings, so she's had a chance to catch her breath when she's in the dugout. So hopefully that's kept her fresh enough to get through to the end here. And just a little squibber to first. Laura Beth Wood makes that play, 3 unassisted. And there's out number 1 in the top of the 6th. Back to the top of the order, Madison Carricker Had a single in the first, was caught stealing as part of a double steal. Grounded out to Caitlin Rackard and struck out in the fourth. So Carricker steps in to face Morgan Beeler. And that's outside. Got away from her a little bit. She kind of grinned and told Kylie Lenhart, yeah, that one's on me. So she steps back in. And Carricker asks for time and backs out. And now she's ready to go again. Here's a pitch from Morgan. Well, seems a little upset. I don't know if she just stumbled a little bit, but now she might be thinking, wow, that's back-to-back. What's going on here? And low and outside there, ball 2. Starting to cool down some. Lights are on here. Wind's not quite as bad as it was earlier today. And the Bears with a 7-2 lead. Carricker has to step up through and slap one. And misses, swing and a miss. Counts 2-1. And didn't get that one either. And she might have fouled one off her foot too. Like she's trying to walk it off a little bit. Bears won 5 straight, trying to make it 6 here. If they can hold off UNC Pembroke in the late innings in game 2 of our doubleheader. Looks like Carricker's ready. She steps back in. Umpire gives her some time, and here's a pitch from Morgan. And ground ball to Rackard. She scoops that easily, and pretty routine play there for the Bears shortstop and first baseman. And now 2 outs with Mary Sills coming to the plate for the Braves. Sills singled and scored in the first. Ground out to Laura Beth Wood in the second, and grounded out sort of to Laura Beth in the fourth. Ball bounced off Laura Beth's glove. Julia Mardigan was able to grab it and throw it back to Wood to get the runner. And there's strike one. Count goes to 1-1. So 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Bears up 7-2. Trying to wrap this thing up and have a little celebration on a Saturday night. Still got a little ways to go. 1-2 the count now to Mary Sills, shortstop for UNC Pembroke. She's done a nice job in the field too. She's had some tough plays she's had to make. She's a pretty good shortstop. And that one's low and outside, ball 2. Really been impressed through this stretch with Caitlin Rackard. She doesn't mess around. She gets the ball quick, gets rid of it quick. Good solid shortstop for us. So count goes to 3-2. A little encouragement from Laura Beth Wood as Morgan Beeler trying to dig in and get through the top of the 6th here. And there's right to Laura Beth, one hopper, and she steps on the bag easily, and the Braves go 1-2-3. So a couple of unassisted plays by Laura Beth Wood preserve the Bears' 7-2 lead, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Trying to wrap this one up. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
Break great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Bears lead 7-2 here as we're in the bottom of the 6th. Game 2 winding down this doubleheader against UNC Pembroke. Partner Malik Ellis and I took a vote during the break, and we've decided unanimously that we would like a sunny 70-degree game with no wind. Imagine we'll have that later on in the schedule, but it's been a little chilly and a little windy yesterday and today here at Bears Field. But success for the Bears as they're trying to win their 6th straight and sweep doubleheaders back-to-back days. As Cassidy Wall steps in. Cassidy walked and scored in the first, had a single in the 4th. So she's 2 for 3 on the day. Looking for another one here. There's a strike. Count goes to 2-1. Lauren Gammons has gone the distance for the Braves. Has a 3-1 count now on Cassidy Wall. Cassidy played right field in Game 1. He's a designated player here in Game 2 with Kaylee Travis in right. And here's a 3-1 pitch. And that's inside ball 4. So leadoff walk for Cassidy Wall as she reaches base for the 3rd time today. And Gammon is going to come out of the game. Had some rough spots, but overall didn't do a bad job. Certainly gave him some innings. Let's see, so Madison Dyson has come in to pitch. She pinch hit for MJ Wilkes to lead off a 6th, but now is in the game as a pitcher to try to get through the rest of it for the Braves. So Dyson now. Lauren Gammons went 5. 7 runs, 11 hits. A couple errors didn't help her out. But Bears were pretty consistent today at the plate. Scored in 4 of the 5 innings so far. And have a runner on here in the bottom of the 6th. So Cassie Walt first via a walk, and Hannah Jennings will step in. And there's strike 1. Tyson's pitched a few innings for the Braves. Looks like their 3rd pitcher. Not sure statistically what happened in the doubleheader at Catawba. Braves swept that one 11-3 and 12-4. She may have pitched. on Thursday. She's ahead now of Hannah Jennings, 1-2 count. Hannah doubled and scored in the third. So she's contributed at the plate today. Here's the pitch from Dyson. And there's a shot up the middle. It's going to be a single. Let's see what Wall does. She'll stay at second as the center.
32, Julia Mardigan.
Julia Mardigan at the plate. And takes strike one. Two on, nobody out. Braves have changed pitchers. Maddie Dyson in the circle. And facing Julia Mardigan. On base twice. Neither on hit. Both by error. And has played what's becoming a pretty regular, solid second base. 2-1 to count. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Bears trying to wrap this one up, but looking to get a couple more runs. And that one's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. And Wall's going to come into, well, she got a little bit closer than it looked like. And everybody's safe as Hannah Jennings slides back to second. So, nice RBI single by Julia Mardigan. Scores Cassie Wall in a 8-2 lead now for Lenoir-Rhyne. Laura Beth Wood stands in. A couple of hits today. RBI, scored a run. Well, a pitch runner came in and scored the run in her spot. So that run will count for Cameron Bryant. 2 hits, though, regardless, for Laura Beth Wood. And with no outs, she's got a chance to push another run across. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. Off tomorrow. Doubleheader at home against Lemoyne on Monday. And the Bears will head down, and there's a shot to right. Looks like that's going to be playable, and ball quickly comes in. And there's one away. Kaylee Travis steps in. No, looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter for Travis. And that is Sammy Deisler. So she'll bat here for Kaylee Travis. Job today for Kaylee. A couple heads up play in the field. Drew a walk in the third. And Deisler will step in here. Her first action of the day. And she'll face Maddie Dyson with 1 out and 2 runners on. Bears have already pushed 1 across here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss there. And Deisler's in the hole, 0-1. Here's a pitch from Dyson. And swing and miss. Only a little bit of a gamble there by Jennings, but she's safe at third. Just a little bobble by Adcox. And both runners are able to advance. Close play at third. But Hannah Jennings was able to get in there, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Sammy Deisler. And there's strike 3. So Deisler strikes out, and that brings Kendall Osborne to the plate. She's had a big day. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, solo home run in the 2nd. RBI single in the 5th. So she's had a nice outing here in game 2. Two away now. Bears lead 8-2. Have runners on second and third. Hannah Jennings on third. Julia Morgan on second. And count goes to 2-0 to Kendall Osborne. I want to thank Malik Ellis today for handling all our technical stuff. For those of you who know me, it's pretty easy for me to talk. I could not do what he does. So he's the reason you are seeing the game and hearing me, whether that's good or bad. Here's strike one to Osborne. Count now 3-1. She thought it was a ball. A few Bear faithful thought it was a ball also. Crowd's thinned out a little bit, but still pretty good. It was a nice crowd today for most of the day. And there's ball 4. So Osborne gets to trot down now to first, and that loads the bases for the Bears, and Savannah Moorfield coming to the plate. Bit of a struggle today early on for Savannah, but got a infield hit there in the 5th, came around and scored. Let's see what she can do here with the bases loaded. And there's strike one. Lauren Gammons gave her some problems. This is a new pitcher, Dyson. See how Moorfield adjusts to her. And that's a pop center. Is that going to be trouble? No, center fielder's going to have it, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So, Bears strike again on the RBI single from Julia Mardigan, and will take an 8-2 lead into the top of the 7th as they try to sweep this doubleheader here today against UNC Pembroke. So we'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
And welcome back. The Bears now 3 outs from wrapping up this doubleheader sweep. Morgan Beeler has settled down the last couple innings, really the last 3, after a couple of rough ones there early on, facing Tatum Brummett. Brummett got a hit in the first, a double, then was hit in the 3rd and 4th as she's Morgan plunked her in back-to-back innings. See how things go here. And quickly ball 3. Pardon me. 3-0. And here's a pitch from Morgan. Strike one. Brummett had already thrown her bat. She thought that was ball 4. I think she's telling the umpire she thought it was ball 4. She's smiling about it. Probably not inside. So 3-1 now. Here's a pitch from Beeler. And that's ball 4. Similar spot further outside. And leadoff runners on for UNC Pembroke. So they're still battling. Even down 8-2 as Jordan Adcox steps in. Catcher caught both games for UNC Pembroke. She has a double today also, along with a walk. And she faces Morgan Beeler. And there's a strike. Ask the umpire for a little bit of time to get set, which she does. Morgan's ready to go. Umpire had his hand up, so Morgan wants to try to end this thing. Counts 1-1. No outs, top of the 7th, run on first. And there's a little weak ground ball. And Mardigan's going to go to second and get the lead runner. Nice job there. Two freshman middle infielders. Mardigan to Rackard. And there's one away.
Up next for the Braves, number 6, Lauren Hilborn.
Lauren Hilborn steps in. She reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Couple outs since then. And a shot to Hannah Jennings, and she makes the one hopper, and what a nice grab by Laura Beth Wood. Wow. Hannah's got a strong arm. She one-hopped that one to Laura Beth, and great defensive play there from Wood for the second out of the inning. Adcox advances to second on the throw, but there's two away. Bears one out away from their 6th win in a row. And a shot just foul past Hannah Jennings. And quickly the count's 0-2. If the Bears hold on here, they would move to 8-5. With another 2 games at home on Monday. 6-0 on this homestand. You need to win your home games, and they have done that so far in this stretch. Ball low in the dirt, count goes to 2-2. To McKenna Civet. UNC Pembroke would fall to 6-4 if they can't rally. And there's a pop-up. Looks like it's going to be playable for Wood, and it is. So the Bears wrap this one up. A couple of nice plays by Laura Beth Wood, to wrap this one up for Lenoir-Rhyne. And head coach Sheena Holler gets the 902nd and 903rd wins of her coaching career. And thankfully, the vast majority here with the Bears. So the Bears take a doubleheader again today after sweeping Southern New Hampshire yesterday, King College on Wednesday. They take 2 from UNC Pembroke Braves. Score of the first game was, well, now I forgot what the score of the first game was. 4-0. I want to say 4-0 game 1, 8-2 here in game 2. So a well-deserved day off tomorrow before coming back on Monday to face Lemoyne. That game will be first pitch at noon, and then some road time for Lenoir-Rhyne. So, successful day here for the Bears in Hickory, and hopefully continue that on Monday. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks to Malik Ellis for doing what he does well. And we will talk to you next time here on the Bears Sports Network. Good night, everybody.